for sure. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's media availability. I'm Assistant Commissioner Jessica Lance, and I will be facilitating our discussion today as we celebrate an exciting moment for Sacramento State and the Big West. Sacramento State's transition to full membership in the Big West, effective July 1st, 2026, is a significant step for the university and for the conference, and we are thrilled to have distinguished leaders here to provide insights on the move and what will now be a 12-member Big West, marking the largest intercollegiate athletic conference in the Western United States. Joining us today are Dan Betterly, Commissioner of the Big West, Dr. Luke Wood, President at Sacramento State, and Mark Orr, Director of Athletics at Sacramento State. Each of our speakers will share their thoughts on this transition, followed by a Q&A session where members of the media are invited to ask questions about the Big West. Before we begin, a few quick reminders. Please remain muted unless called upon during the Q&A. If you have a question, please use the raise hand feature and we will call on you. And media representatives, if you need any follow-up interviews, please contact me or my colleagues at Sacramento State after the session and we can help facilitate additional opportunities. Now, to start things off, I'm pleased to introduce our first speaker, Big West Commissioner Dan Betterly. Commissioner, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jessica, and good morning, everyone. It was with great excitement on Wednesday that the Big West announced Sacramento State University will join the Big West starting on July 1st, 2026. The Hornets have been an affiliate member of the Big West in the sports of beach volleyball, men's soccer, and men's golf, but today we are thrilled to welcome Sac State as a full member institution and member of the Big West family. The Big West Board of Directors met on June 5th for their spring meeting, with key topics being updates on NCAA legal and governance matters, but a significant amount of time during that meeting centered on the potential of adding a 12th member institution for 2026-27. The Big West received interest from many institutions across the West seeking to join our membership, but the immediate focus centered on Sacramento State's interest in joining the Big West. The board unanimously supported sending an invitation for Sacramento State University to join the Big West, and that invitation was sent immediately after the meeting on June 5th. The Big West Board of Directors realized many benefits to Sacramento State's rounding out our membership, including their location in the Big West geographic footprint, being at Cal State University, bold leadership, their financial commitment to athletics, academic success, and Sacramento State's plan for growth at the Division I level. The Hornets' sports profile also aligned exceptionally well with the Big West roster of championship sports. At this time, it is my honor to welcome the Hornets from Sacramento State University to the Big West and turn to opening comments presented by President Luke Wood. Dr. Wood, welcome to the Big West, and I yield to you for your opening comments.
Thank you, Commissioner Betterly, and we are very happy and very excited to be part of the Big West. Big West is an amazing conference, and is, obviously there's some significant benefits for both our programs and also for student athletes in general. So when we received the invitation from the Big West, one of the things that we were really excited about was that many of the institutions that we consider peer institutions within our state are part of the Big West. And so it provides an opportunity for our students to compete, and for our fans to be able to attend games and competitions that are with institutions that they're very familiar with and that many of them have connections to in various ways. We're also really excited about what this means for student success. For us at Sacramento State, we see our athletes as student athletes first, and that student part matters. And the footprint of the Big West allows for our students to be able to compete at the highest level while also reducing travel in a way that, and again, being able to compete against teams that are known to our students and to our fans. We're really excited too about the incredible pedigree of the Big West when it comes to lots of sports, but particularly basketball and baseball, which are areas that we have continued to invest in as a campus. So we're very excited to be part of the Big West. It's the best decision that we could have made as an institution, and we are looking forward to many years of partnership around student athletes and student athlete success.
Thank you so much, President Wood. Finally, please give your attention to Sacramento State Director of Athletics, Mark Orr.
Thank you, Jessica. And first and foremost, I want to thank the board of directors of the Big West, those chancellors, those presidents, for their confidence in bringing Sacramento State to join such a wonderful conference. So we couldn't be more grateful for that opportunity. Commissioner Butterly, the Big West staff, just tremendous. It's been professional and communicative all the way through the process. So thank you very much. The athletic directors, the senior woman administrators, the faculty athletic representatives that were all part of this process. We couldn't be more thrilled and ecstatic to join, to partner and join the conference. For Sacramento State, on behalf of the Department of Athletics, we are excited to join such a nationally recognized conference in the country in several sports. Our student athletes are thrilled. Our coaches are thrilled. Our alumni and our fans, our student body, we couldn't be more excited to join the conference. We look forward to enhancing existing rivalries. President Wood shared our peer CSU institutions with Cal Poly and Cal State Bakersfield and Cal State Fullerton and Long Beach State. Those are rivalries we already have. Now we get to enhance it and up the ante, I guess, with our peer CSU institutions, and also develop newer rivalries with our UC counterparts. And I must say, Utah Valley University and Cal Baptist joining with us and enhancing those relationships and rivalries are going to be so much fun. We were impressed not only with the successful athletic programs within the conference, but the institutional alignment, the vision, the mission, the goals, the academic success of all the institutions in the Big West fit perfectly with what we're trying to do here at Sacramento State. So we can't wait till July 1st, 2026, when we can kick it off. I'm not sure what would be the first competition. Potentially, I'm assuming it's probably going to be soccer or volleyball, but we're going to be very, very excited and preparing over the next couple years to enter the conference. And we certainly look forward to it and couldn't be more grateful and appreciative of the opportunity.
Thank you, Athletic Director Orr. Now we'll transition to our Q&A portion. We'll ask members of the media to use the raise hand feature in Zoom if you have a question, and we will call on you accordingly. If you could please state your name and affiliation when you ask your first question, it would be appreciated. Any questions? No one wants to be first?
And if you have trouble finding the hand feature, it's under the React.
Okay, Joe Davidson, please ask your question.
Hi, Joe Davidson, Sacramento Bee. First for President Wood and then Mark Orr. Can you guys, before you talk more about the Big West, shed any more light on maybe going independent in FCS and football? Is that something you want to talk about today? I know you haven't got the waiver officially yet, or accepted or denied, but it's just part of a big week and a big spring for Sac State and a lot of rolling momentum.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say that we look forward to hearing the recommendation of the D1 Council next week. And what we're really focused on right now is, the vast majority of our athletic programs and the fact that we have found unquestionably the best home in the West for those programs. Our strategic plan for the university had one of the main activities is for us to move into a single conference that reduced travel, that increased fan participation, and allowed us to compete against peer institutions. And this is an important step for us as an institution, because now we are able to actualize a very important part of our strategic plan. So not that I'm interested in checking boxes, but hey, we got to check a very important box, and it allows us to be at the table with some of the best institutions in the state of California. So we're very excited to be in the Big West.
And then I would just add that today's the day to celebrate the Big West. It is, we are We are ecstatic about it. It has not changed our goals with our football program. Obviously, the Big West Conference, Big West does not sponsor football. Years and years ago, they did, and I think I told Commissioner Butterly we can still play some football if he ever wants to. But no, we're excited about the Big West. FBS football is still a goal of ours, and this doesn't change that in terms of our aspirations to participate in football as an FBS program. But we feel that the rest of our programs and the vast majority of our programs are in the best possible solution with the Big West.
Thank you. Andrew Martin?
Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Sorry, it took me a second to find the actual function for the raised hand on this. So my question, Andrew Martin, Fox 40 in Sacramento. I think my question is more for Mark, but if Dr. Wood, you want to weigh in here. Kind of a two-part question. What was the timeline of when you guys basically made the decision that you wanted to join the Big West? And also, is there any exit fee that's due to the Big Sky Conference for your move?
Yeah, first, I want to make sure I'm clear. We spent 30 years in the Big Sky Conference, wonderful conference. Tom Wisherstiel is a good friend and tremendous, and have been very, very good to Sacramento State. So this is not our change of conferences is not because we are unsatisfied or unhappy in the Big Sky Conference. They've been wonderful and such great institutions. This is more about the opportunity that the Big West offers our student athletes, and we felt that this is the best move for us. In terms of timelines, I think we, as Commissioner Butterly said, we've already had 3 sports participating in the Big West. We had our men's soccer program, our beach volleyball program, and most recently our men's golf program already part of the conference. So it's been one of those things that's been ongoing probably over several years of seeing the Big West as a potential destination for Sacramento State athletics. And it came together, as Commissioner Butterly said, over the course of the last couple of weeks that the Big West was in a position that they were interested in expansion. And we were in a place that strategically, we were looking at our strategic vision for athletics. So it came together, quite frankly, over the last couple of weeks fairly quickly. But this isn't a new thing for Sacramento State. We've participated in the conference in a few sports over the years. We've competed non-conference against Big West institutions for several years. So I think it's one of those things. It was a matter of time before we came together.
Yeah, Andrew, I'll add to that. When Mark called last year, probably April or May of last year, and said, "Hey, we need a home for men's golf," I said, "Mark, that's 3 sports. When are we just going to make this a full membership situation?" We were kind of joking about it, not knowing that this would actually happen a year later. But obviously very excited because we're thrilled that we have those 3 sports in the conference at this point. But to add the rest of the sport profile is going to be fantastic for both the Sacramento State and the Big West.
Okay, next question is from Greg Kerr. Oh,
I'm sorry, I just want to follow up on the other part. A question for Mark and/or Dr. Wood. Was there an exit fee that had to be paid to the Big Sky, or is this just a natural transition?
No, there's an exit fee. That's part of our normal transition, and we will remit that to the Big Sky within the next month or so.
Are you comfortable sharing what that number is?
I'll defer to Mark on whether or not we should do that.
Okay.
Yes, the exit fee is $250,000. So we will remit that as soon as possible and follow the Big Sky protocols in terms of that.
Okay. Thank you.
thanks, Andrew. Apologies.
No problem. Thank you.
Next is Greg Kerr from KBAK in the chat. Is it important for the Big West to have a footprint in Northern California with UC Davis leaving?
Jessica, I'll take that one. I don't think Sac State wants to answer that one. So obviously, with the departure of UC Davis, it was something that we did look at relative to the geographic footprint of the Big West. We've loved having UC Davis in the conference. We hate to lose them in the conference, but obviously, when we looked at the footprint and Sac State showed interest, in the Big West. We thought that that was a great match in many ways. Mark and Luke both talked about the great rivalries and the aspects of being a Cal State in a system that we pretty much now are running the Cal States in the Big West in that respect. But being in a position that coming back and making sure we have a foothold in Northern California, absolutely, it's a great situation for the Big West. Sacramento State recruits down to Southern California, and our institutions recruit up to Northern California. So to be able to have that tie and that competitiveness was something that was very very encouraging and really motivated our institutions to another reason to add Sac State to the footprint.
And Greg's follow-up, even though it is a year away with 12 teams in 2026, have the travel partners been established yet?
Well, I have my thoughts on the travel partners, Greg, but we do have 3 subcommittees that will be formed that are actively underway right now to look at regular season scheduling in every sport. Obviously, with the 12-member institutions, you've got to look at what's best for those institutions in each individual sport. Is it everybody plays everybody every season? Is in basketball, do you play everybody twice? Or how we're going to manage that. So we will have a subcommittee looking at that aspect as well as our championship field sizes moving forward ahead. So there are some thoughts, obviously, relative to the travel partners, but we don't want to do that and get in front of those subcommittees' work.
Okay. The next hand raised was Ghazal Hassan.
First of all, welcome to the Hornets. That swarm of Hornets flying south from Sacramento. Greg kind of stole my fire a little bit with UC Davis, but I wanted to ask both, Mark and Dr. Wood, aside from the geography aspect of it, aside from the travel, what were some of the discussions that were had? Did you guys have relationships potentially with some of the folks who are already in the Big West? How did you view, aside from the relationship with Dan Butterly, what were some other relationships or conversations that shaped your interest in the conference?
I can start with that. So because I'm a president within the Cal State system, I've had extensive number of conversations with my colleagues who are part of the Big West. And you when you're thinking about an athletic conference, you as a president, you do spend a good amount of time with your colleagues trying to shape a positive future for your student athletes. And when I think about the people who I enjoy working with, who we have a shared commitment to student success and equity and a focus on trying to have our sports at the highest level of competition. I just felt like there was great alignment with those values and also just as the strategic direction of the institution. So I would say for me, a big part of this was a number of conversations with my presidential colleagues in the Cal State system who are part of the Big West.
And then I would just share, similar to what Dr. Wood shared, I've been a Division I athletic director out here on the western part of the country for over 20 years, both in the West Coast Conference and the Big Sky. Obviously, I've closely followed the Big West and the Big West success in so many sports, particularly men's basketball. Not that it's all about men's basketball, but certainly seeing the success that the Big West has had in men's basketball. This year with UC San Diego and UC Irvine, which I believe both should have been NCAA tournament teams, but certainly significant NCAA postseason opportunities in those programs. We've made a significant investment into our basketball program, certainly men's basketball, Mike Bibby, Shaquille O'Neal, all the things that we're trying to do in our basketball programs. That certainly played a significant part of seeing the strategic direction that the Big West is doing in the sport of basketball. It goes without saying what they've done in baseball, in softball, in tennis, women's volleyball, beach volleyball, all the success outside of Division I basketball. But we've developed those relationships with competing and then certainly watching from afar the strategic direction that Commissioner Butterly and the board of directors and the athletic directors and SWAs and FARs have charted, fits with the goals we have for our non-football programs.
And Dan, a quick follow-up for you, and
Yeah,
if you can't address it, I understand. But how much of this was influenced by UC Davis? Were these conversations going on before the exit of UC Davis, which I'm guessing was a bit of a surprise to you guys? But I'm just curious what you can tell us about that.
Yeah, because great question. Like I said, Mark and I joked last year when they added men's golf, wanted to come in men's golf. And I talked about, why don't you just join in all sports? You're up to 3, you just need a few more and you're a full member. So we started the, joking around at that point. Mark and I have had a great relationship over the last few years. I've gotten to know him in the Sac State program. So obviously was a bit of a shock when UC Davis announced that they were departing for the Mountain West. But, in this respect, as we looked at, we decided to add Utah Valley and Cal Baptist in late February. The intent was to get to 12 institutions. We had multiple institutions that had strong interest in joining the Big West, but I think the eyes amongst the board of directors, particularly based upon those conversations that President Wood said he was having, was on Sac State and what their future may be, knowing that they had been discussing football and looking at their options, that there could be an opportunity there, Gazal, in that respect. So we were holding the opportunity for that 12th institution to come on board. And, really, as I said in the opening comments, really focused in on Sac State on the June 5th meeting.
And then why do you feel, it sounds like you think 12 is kind of the ideal option for the Big West? Is there a reason for that, or might the conference go beyond that?
No, right now I think 12 is probably the number we want to be at, Gazal, in that respect. That as we've talked about, an odd number is more of a challenge in scheduling. And once you got to an even number, you're now looking at the potential of travel partners, as Luke and Mark both intimated. Cost savings in that respect could definitely help all of our programs. When you look at a road swing to UC Santa Barbara and Cal Poly, it could save all of our institutions monies. And as all of you guys know, trying to get through LA from the south to the northern part of the footprint can be a challenge in many ways. So again, as we look at those potential travel partners in our schedules, 12 was the number that we were really interested in getting to. We probably could have been at 10 and been okay, but I think 12, given the dynamics of Division I, all the changes that are occurring in Division I, right now we wanted, as I've said, we need to be aggressive in the membership space, and we really wanted to get to 12.
Thank you.
Brandon, did you still have a question?
I did, but it was answered already, or asked already too. Thank you.
Joe?
Yes. For Luke or Mark, or how much money are you saving with this realignment to the Big West, and being mindful, and that's always a good thing to be able to save money. Any rough idea how much you're going to be saving expense wise on just travel with the Big West?
I suppose I can answer that. I think it's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when I say saving, it's reinvesting. This isn't, I want to make sure I'm clear. This isn't us cutting budgets or cutting any kind of commitment to our athletics programs. It gives us opportunities to be more efficient with our travel, to reinvest in other areas, going to make our programs even better and give our students a better experience to compete for national exposure and competition. So yes, it will save us in certainly some significant savings in travel that will allow for us to reinvest in other areas of our student athlete experience. And that would be our plan.
The only thing I'd add to that is, like, this decision was about elevating Sacramento State sports to the next level. Yes, there were some beneficial byproducts that came along with it, but first and foremost, this was a decision about our athletes being able to compete at the highest level of D1 and being in a conference that's healthy and on the West Coast. And with all of the turmoil that's taking place with conferences across the country, we wanted to be in a conference that is showing a trajectory of upward success. And so there's no better home for us than the Big West.
Thank you. The next question from Kirsten.
Hi, this is Kirsten with Fox 40. My question is for Dr. Wood and Mark Orr. If the goal is eventually to be in a FBS conference, and I don't know the logistics, so maybe you could shed light, why not go for a conference like the Mountain West, where all of your programs eventually would be in the same conference?
So for us, we believe that being an independent institution as a football program, given our unique media market, top 20 media market in the country, the only top 20 media market without an FBS team, the only top media market in the country that isn't saturated. It's basically us and the Kings, and of course, for a short period of time, the Athletics. And so when you put that together, for us, it makes a lot more sense for all of our sports to be in the Big West, and for football to basically be as an independent institution. And so that's still our plan. We're still moving forward on that. But what we're really excited about is that the majority of our programs now have a home in a powerhouse conference. And so we're excited about that.
All right, from the chat for Commissioner Butterly, from Greg Kerr, will a 12-team conference change the format for the Big West Championship basketball or eligibility to earn a berth?
Greg, great question. The subcommittee that we have formed to look at regular season scheduling and championships will take a look at that. I've gone on record with our institutions that I do like the field sizes we currently have. I think it provides very strong opportunities for our teams to not only showcase our best teams, but to advance our best teams in the postseason in that respect. So obviously the subcommittee will take a look at those opportunities at this point, but at this time, I can't directly answer that question until the subcommittee completes their work. And once they do complete their work and the board makes decisions on their recommendations, then we'll announce those directions moving forward.
Gazal.
Quickly for Commissioner Butterly, and I know you maybe can't specifically answer, but you mentioned the subcommittee for scheduling. In the back of your mind, do you have an idea in terms of, soccer and baseball and basketball, in terms of the number of games? Is there kind of an over under you're looking at, or is it completely up to the subcommittee?
Over under is a great question. So it really will be up to the subcommittee, Gazal. Right now, we are in a position that we are surveying the coaches. Now that we've announced, now that we've got the membership firmed up, we are surveying the coaches at this time to get their feedback that could then feed into the subcommittee. The subcommittee right now will be made up of all 12 institutions represented by either their AD or their SWA at this point. And there's some other subcommittees that are being formed that others will be involved with in that respect. But the key focus will be the regular season schedules. First, obviously, if we kept the same formats for all the championships, you work back from those dates of the championship back on the regular season scheduling in that respect. But as you look at a 12-team conference, you look at the potential next week, as I've been chair of the Men's Basketball Oversight Committee for the NCAA. I know that we've got legislation next week to move college basketball in 26-27 to a 32-game regular season format. Do our institutions, our coaches, have interest in playing a full round robin, which would be 22 conference games, or would they want to play something less than that? Is it an 18 or 20 game schedule? And how would that look in that respect? Is it just a randomization, or is it putting the best teams against the best teams twice? So that's just one sport that we all have to kind of work through. But we'll get that feedback, get some direction from the coaches. Obviously, non-conference scheduling is very important as well to build those resumes going into conference play. So a lot of feedback, a lot of direction we need to get some direction on, but we've got the scheduling computers ready to start churning and burning schedules as soon as we get that feedback, and hopefully get these schedules completed as soon as possible, because I know our coaches for particularly the fall 26 sports want their schedules now. So we continue to tell them, let us get membership set, then we'll get on those schedules.
Well, thanks. Yeah, if it counts for anything, a 33-game baseball schedule would be fantastic. So.
Yeah, one thing we would potentially do there in that respect would that bye weekend that we seem to fill with Oregon State all season long. That weekend could be a conference weekend now. So we'll see how it goes.
Any additional questions from the room? Seeing none, I'd like to thank President Wood, Athletic Director Orr, and Commissioner Butterly for your time today. And this concludes our introductory media availability. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
Big West. And Stingers up.
Go Big West. Be bold.